Right, here we go. Question 3. This is a big one. We'll try and do it as quickly as we can so we're not taking up all your night. Right, 3a, we need to prepare this, and of course, as you know, that's x to the half. F dash x, because we're differentiating now, half x to the minus a half. Still f dash x, we're tidying it up now, it's 1 over 2x to the half, which then finally gives me 1 over 2 root x. Remember, the negative power means you're going underneath. Fraction powers always mean roots. Where's the marks coming here? Well, dead easy. 1 mark for preparing it, 1 mark for correct differentiation, and 1 mark for your final tidy answer. 3 marks in total. Next one, B. It's almost the same question. It's not very much of a jump ahead. We're still preparing it here. F of x is minus 2x to the half. Remember, that root there is a half power. F dash x, well, we multiply by the half, makes it minus 1 on the front. Minus x to the minus a half. Still f dash x, because we're just tidying it up now. The minus power, remember, means it goes underneath, so something has to be on top. And what's on top is this number here that's not really been written. The number that's written there is minus 1. So minus 1's on top, x to the half is on the bottom. Now we can tidy that up a little bit more. It's minus 1 over root x. So well done if you got that. So where we're doing it here, 1 mark for differentiating, 1 mark for preparing it, 1 mark for differentiation, and 1 mark for tidying up. 3 marks in total, yet again. Okay, on to C. Now it's f of x equals 3 over root x. What you want to do in this situation here, again, is prepare it. Now the bottom there is x to the half. And what we're going to do now is we still need to prepare it a bit more and make it 3x to the minus a half. Bring that up to make it a negative power. Differentiating this means we're going to have minus a half times 3, which is minus 3 halves. X, take 1 off the power, makes it negative 3 over 2. Now again, some of you guys were struggling with this, so what we're going to do over here, just to remind you, is minus a half take away 1 is the same as saying minus a half take away 2 over 2, which gives us minus 3 over 2, as you can see there. That idea. Now, I've differentiated, I'll scroll that out so I'm confused. I've differentiated here, I need to prepare it. So it's going to go to minus 3 over 2, the big numbers, that shape has to stay, it has been maintained, x to the power 3 over 2. Again, being top quality mathematicians, what we want to do now is tidy that up a bit more, get it without the fraction power, because it's rubbish. It's the same as saying minus 3 over 2 square root of x cubed. Now, where's the marks for here? 1, making that x to the half. 2, bringing it up. 3, differentiating. And then 4, fully tidied. Well done if you got that. Here we go. And next one is D. Now in this case here, we need to tidy it up. So it's going to be 2, and we're going to make an uber bracket, a big bracket here. X squared add 4x minus x minus 4. That equals 2 of what's inside there. And then that equals 2x squared add 6x minus 8. And now I've got rid of the brackets, now I've fully tidied it out. This is still f of x, it's still f of x. Oops, it's not there. Still f of x, f of x, f of x. And now it's f dash x, because we differentiate now. 4x plus 6, and that's it. The next one, E. Here we go. It needs prepared slightly. 3x minus x to the minus 1. Bring that x up. Now let's differentiate it. F dash x is equal to 3, as that goes, to plus x to the minus 2. Now a little bit of tidying gives us 3 plus 1 over x squared. Where the marks for here, 1 for the tidying, 1 for the correct differentiation, and 1 for the tidying at the end. 3 marks again. In fact, I forgot to tell you the marks for the last one, didn't I? So let's go back here, idiot that I am. You get, quite harsh, for getting all the way from there down to here, you get 1 mark. And 1 mark for differentiating. That's 2 marks. Why am I only giving you 1 mark for all of that there? Well, the reason for only getting 1 mark for all of this here is it's third and fourth year work. It's not higher work, it's easy. Let's go over to F. Now, in this case here, we need to prepare again. So it's 2x to the half. It's Still f of x, we're not differentiating. Minus, now a lot of you are going to get confused at this. That's just like cutting x up into 3 bits, so I like to think of it as a third of x, like that. Now let's differentiate it. F dash x equals, what's a half times 2 is 1, x to the minus a half. And this bit here, remember we said 5x differentiates to give you 5, so minus a third x differentiates to give you minus a third. Tidying this up a little bit, we're still f dash x. It's the same as saying 1 over x to the half minus a third, which is the same ultimately saying 1 over root x minus a third. We've tidied that up a bit. Get into this question. There we are. Mark allocation, 1 for the preparation, 1 for the differentiation, and 1 for the final answer. 3 marks in total. Guys, we're doing very well. Let's keep going. On G. Oops. So, next up, I'm going to tidy it up a little bit. I'm going to write that as a fifth of x squared because I think that's nicer to look at. This is 3x to the half. Let's get differentiating. That's going to be 2/5 of x to the power 1, that's fine, minus 3/2 of x to the power minus a half. Is that, remember, that half comes down to the front and multiplies here. So then, tidying it up a bit, it's still 2/5 of x, I'm fine with that, minus 3 over 2x to the half, which becomes 2/5 of x minus 3 over 2 root x. And hopefully you've picked up the reasoning behind that by now. So, again, mark allocation. 1 mark for tidying this up and preparing it for differentiation. 1 mark for performing the differentiation. And then a final mark down the bottom here for tidying it up. 3 marks in total. On to question H. This is a good one. More root stuff. F of x. Well, let's prepare it. It's 1 over x to the half minus x to the half. Then it's still not prepared because we've got the x underneath, so that becomes up to x to the minus a half minus x to the half. Oops. Now I can differentiate it. And that gives me minus a half x to the minus 3 over 2. Remember, minus a half take away 1 gives you minus 1.5, which is minus 3 over 2. Take away, pulling this part at the front, is a half x to the minus a half. It's getting messy now. However, that's the same as saying minus 1 over 2 x to the power 3 over 2 minus 1 over 2 x to the half. And that can be tidied up a little bit more to 1 over 2 the square root of x cubed minus 1 over 2 the square root of x. I'm going to give a few marks for this one because there's quite a lot involved. 1 mark for preparing it correctly, that's getting to here, x to the minus a half, x to the half. 1 mark for correct differentiation, 1 mark for correctly getting the x's back under, and 1 mark for the final tidying up. So I'm giving you 4 for that one, just because a little bit kind. You can see that there. Pause the video if you need to look at it more. Aye. Okay. And you can kind of see the previous question above it, so I'll just use this book here to cover up what we're looking at. Whoops. Talking about this here. Right. F of x equals 3x squared add 2x all over x. This is one of those ones where I say get your hand in, you can't really see it here, karate chop it. Let's chop it in half. F of x is 3x squared over x, add 2x over x. And using your basic indices stuff from last year, dividing is the same as taking away the powers, right? So we're going to 3x, add, and here the x is cancelled, it's 2. Differentiating that is pimps, it gives us 3. That is our answer. It's not a very complicated question. Where's the mark allocation? 1, note to chop it. 2, note to tidy it. 3, differentiation. Here's our last one of this type, folks, and it's J. And here we go. F of x is x squared over x minus 2 root x over x. This is what Mrs. West floating about in the English department at 5:30 on a Friday night. It's always weirdos about. So I've chopped it, f of x, and what I'm going to do now is prepare it a little bit. This bit here is cool because x squared over x is just x. Over here, how am I going to deal with this? Well, you need to think at the side, that's 2x to the half over x. So what you do here is you take away the powers, don't you? Yeah? A half take away 1 makes it minus a half. So you end up with 2x to the minus a half. Tricky. F dash x, let's differentiate this. X becomes 1. Come to the front here. Minus a half times minus 2. A half of 2 is 1. Minuses cancel. It's plus x to the minus 3 over 2. Guys, we're nearly there. 1 plus 1 over x to the 3 over 2. What a trick. 1 plus 1 over the square root of x cubed. Oh, it's been a mission, but we've got there with that question. So, where's the marks for? 1, chopping it. 2, if I'm getting that bit. And if you've done that, I'm very impressed. That'd be really good if you've got that. Third mark is for differentiating correctly. Hopefully I've done that. And then 4 is your final mark. Final answer.